Finally, we have reached a place where now we are doing our mock setup. Yes, mock setup. See, at this stage, we have the tank. We discussed last week, no? How the tank should be, what tank we can use, and how we have to manage our space. Our imagination has to get into this space we need and what size of tank we need. I explained my imagination to you where I said there is this old ancient tree that fell into the water and it's still giving life to all the creatures in the water. So there is everlasting life. That was the whole concept, right? Now, we need to see if our wood, our stone, our imagination actually fits into the space that we have. See, there is also a mock you can do before this, is where you do a dummy. Make a kind of a cardboard box and you make your aquascape in that cardboard box, and that cardboard box is in the size of the aquarium you want. Okay, that's another possibility where you use a cardboard box instead of a glass tank. Why you'd use a cardboard box? Then you know, okay, this is the exact amount of space I need and how I will utilize my space. Now that is the important part of this video. I will teach you how to utilize the space to its best so that we don't have problems tomorrow. We don't have problems once our aquascape is ready. So here, first step was to kind of bring my imagination and use the pieces of wood that I have into the space. Now, the most beautiful piece is this center one, because of this huge gap. Now, if you want to try and figure out if this is in golden ratio, sure, you can try. I'm not too keen about it and I'm not in a place where I want to discuss it, but we will do that in our next video. We will only see golden ratio and what golden ratio is and how it's going to work for you. But see, I have a feeling about this. I have a very good feeling about this. It feels good. When I look at it from far, when I look at it from close, it has some sense. It has sense of my imagination. And on top of that, if we have to divide this and understand the golden ratio, then I have a strong feeling that this is in golden ratio. Just by visual appeal, we can figure out, yes, it is in golden ratio. And on top of that, this would be my focal point, because that's the most important thing for me. Now the focal point is slightly off center, which is again important, okay, from a golden ratio perspective. Now when you're setting up your hardscape as a mock, then you don't need to put soil, sand, anything. You're just basically seeing if everything works together. You're just seeing what material you need. You're setting up your material. Now that piece of stone goes there. Yes, it goes there. So I'll keep it separate. So I have my material clearly demarcated. Yes, this is going into this tank. And I'm not confused with extra material around, right? So that's the important part here. So once you do your mock setup, you figure out, okay, the space, the material, and of course, is it going to look good? Is it matching my imagination? So during the mock setup, you can actually set it up like this and sit in front of it for hours or however long you want and see if your imagination is coming through. See if it's working. If it's not, then let's start again. If it is, then super. But see, important cheese is this your imagination? Not really. This is only part of your imagination, because your imagination also has plants. So here at this step, if you want, you can take a picture of this, print it out, and draw the plants. Which color will go where? By that, you're also completing your imagination and you say, oh, okay, this is how it's going to look. This is what I'm going to get, or this is what I want to achieve. What plants will I put in front? Will I put sand or will I put plant? Okay, will I have a full carpet or partly carpeted? What plants will go in between the stone and the wood? What plant will go at the corner at the back there? What plant will go in the center here? What will look good there? Is it matching my imagination? Why do I have a stone in between? Lot of these questions have to be answered at this stage, because that's what is going to give you a whole idea of your imagination. Now, step one is managing the space. The wood that you're using and the stone that you're using, is it going to be manageable in the long run? And am I going to place it in a manner where it's going to be manageable? So for this step, what we're going to do is, we're going to see how the space needs to be managed. First and foremost thing that we need to see is the height of the wood that we are going to use. Now, Remember that once you put the soil and everything, you are going to get about 2 inches or 3 inches of soil. So all the wood and everything is going to be on top of that. So that means this wood is going to be 3 inches more. So will it affect the light? That is something that we have to remember. Very, very important. Next is, actually you should have done this much before, but we'll do it now. You need to know what the color of the wood will be once it is in water. Very important. So it's going to get a dark color. See? There is a contrast of colors here. So if you take just this patch, this is dark and this is light. So this is the color the wood is going to be underwater. So everything else is going to need to match this color. Next important thing is the space between the glass and the wood. See this? Now this is about 1 finger. My hand is going through comfortably. Okay, same here. This is a little less, but it's a small piece, so it's manageable. So it's very important. Similarly, see this space? There should be ample amount of space here, so I'm able to clean the glass. Now, there is one issue. At this junction, see this? This is at the bottom. If you see from the front, this is the back portion of this wood. Okay? See? This is touching the glass. See? This is touching the glass. Now, this is a place where you'll probably have plants, you'll probably have your media, you'll probably have your soil, and the soil will be covering this. It's under the soil. It's going to be under the soil. So that is a place where you don't have to really worry about. Similarly, in this corner, we have the wood coming like this. So this space, again, I have ample amount of space. So it is manageable, right? It's manageable. We understood managing space. So your placement of the wood is very crucial. Placement of your stones is very crucial. Next step is, once you place the wood and stone, it has to be stable. It has to be extremely stable. Matlab, it should not shake. Very important. So you give ample amount of stones or whatever you want to pack it in the bottom so that the whole thing does not shake. Once you know that it is stable, okay, and it's balanced out, it's not shaking, there is no major issue, I'll show you. Then you stick it. We'll have a small video on sticking also, don't worry about it, because these are all independent points, so we'll show you what needs to be done. But very, very crucial, you don't want your stone or wood to be imbalanced, because once you fill the water, the wood can be lighter than the water, so the wood will come up. If it is not properly balanced and it's not weighed down. Now that's another important point I'll share with you. Other than that, once you're doing your maintenance, okay, if you touch the wood and if it moves, then your aquascape goes. Okay, so it has to be in place, stable and not imbalanced. For example, let's say that we want to place this stone here on this flat stone. Now this is balanced. It's not moving. It's not moving. It's balanced. It will not move. See? It will not move. But what if you want to place it here? Somewhere like this. See? This is not balanced. This place is not even. So it's going to fall. Okay. Unless it's crucial, make sure it's in a place where your stone is well balanced. Because one small move of this stone will shake everything else. That's why you need to stick it also. Additionally, see, the wood has a contour or has a shape. Use stones that will sit in that contour, or you use stones that will match the shape of the wood. So it will start looking natural. See, here also we have done it. It's looking as if they are one piece. Very important. See, here also it looks like it is one full piece. They don't look independent. Similarly, these are two pieces of wood. See, these are two separate pieces of wood, but because of this, it looks like it's part of the same wood, the way it is placed. So always use the shape of the wood to work for you. When you're using combination of stone and wood, very importantly, you have to understand that the stone and the wood needs to be, or all the pieces of wood need to be similar. All the pieces of stone need to be similar. I'll give you an example. See, the stone that we just now placed does not look like the stone that is there below it. They look like two different patterns or stones. Unless you want to cover up that stone on top, then don't use it, because it will become a sore eye. It will look bad because it will stand out in your design. It will look very odd. So in an ideal situation, though I showed you that stone for it to be kept and placed and so that I can show you balance, but that stone does not fit. So you need to have a stone that fits your overall design, because the bottom stone and all the other stones look similar. This one stone is an odd man out. So uniformity, similarity more than uniformity. Similarity is very important. Reason, in nature, in a particular location, you will see a particular kind of stones. If you are going to see round pebbles in a particular place, then that's what you will see. If they are black, then that's what you will see. You will not suddenly see porous stones, something else. Very rare. It will be similar. So you want to maintain a certain similarity, then your aquascape starts looking natural. Additionally, in this whole similarity thing, the grains in the stone or wood, they should flow in a particular manner. If the stones have a particular grains moving horizontally, then ideally you want all the stones to have their grains moving horizontally. This is all aesthetic. Okay, it's not going to really change anything, but when somebody looks at it, you want them to actually look at the whole image, okay, and see your imagination. But these kind of slight changes will actually create that, sense where something is not right feeling. That feeling comes in. So automatically the focus goes away. Now, a lot of people do this where, like I told you earlier, they have a separate cardboard box, mock setup where they will do all the sticking. They will take the whole setup and they will put it into the tank. Usually what I do is I set up the soil and everything, then I place everything, then I stick the wood and stone. The reason you are sticking the stone also to the wood is to weigh it down. Remember, wood is lighter than water, okay, most times, until it soaks up enough water so that it can sink. Now, these pieces of wood have already been in water, but then already since 2 months they've been out also, so they've dried. Now, I don't want them to float because it will spoil my whole aquascape. So, when we use stone and we stick the stone and wood, it becomes an anchor, okay, again bringing more stability. You want to anchor them down. Similarly, this center stone, I told you, why am I using that center stone? One, I want to bring some aesthetic value. I want to see the stone. Plus, I want to weigh those pieces of wood down. I want to put some pressure onto those pieces of wood so that they're down. Similarly, now this piece of wood, we have put a stone at the back and we have put a stone at the front. The stone at the back acts as an anchor. Now, it's not visible to us from front, but it acts as an anchor. Very, very important. It acts as an anchor so that the wood and the stone can be stuck to each other and this wood will not raise. Now also, see, there is a natural observation of things. Why should you have a piece of stone here? We said anchor, we said balance. Also, there is a natural observation. Now, if this tree has fallen into the water, then it's come crashing down into the water. It's probably displaced some stones. And if it is there, then that means it's anchored itself, correct? That's what would have happened naturally, right? Fell inside, because it was heavy, it went down, or over a period of time, it was floating, but then it went down, displaced some stones, anchored itself. Now, when I say anchored itself, remember this river or the stream is flowing. And if the flow is harsh, or if the flow is heavy, if this piece of wood and all is not anchored, then in that river, it will flow away. So, it's probably anchored itself. And in between these stones. So, there is a natural aspect to this whole stone and wood idea also. So, that is again something that you need to consider. Also, lot of these places where you see below, lot of these gaps that you see in between the wood, like for example, below the wood, okay, where actually soil will be there, but there may be some gaps. And in between pieces of wood also there is going to be gap. Of course, there will be soil there, there probably be plants there, but they also act as beautiful hiding spaces for your shrimp, fish or any other creatures that you may add. So in this mock setup, you use what you want to use, the way you think it should be used. Make sure of these few points that are going to help you manage the whole aquascape in the long run. How to place the wood, where to place the wood, all that. Besides the aesthetic part of your imagination, I am just saying using the space correctly or managing the space correctly. Understanding the space properly, very, very crucial. Try not to allow the wood to touch the glass. Yes, some of my aquascapes also, there will be a place where the wood will be coming over and touching the glass here. That is easy to manage because it's not underwater. There will be no algae issues or fungus issues or any of those problems. But inside water, if the glass and the wood are touching at some point, then that's going to be a difficult spot to maintain or clean. So always keep it away. Yes, there are international aquascapes where the sides are fully packed. that's fine. There is no small, contact and heavy space is open. No, if it's fully packed, there's no issue. It's manageable because there's no gap between the glass and anything. So there's be no algae issues, right? Again, manage your space correctly. Create a mock before you actually get into your final aquascape. Now, next step, of course, we'll show you how to layer the substrate, how to place the substrate. So we'll take out all of this, place the substrate, we'll see how to layer it, we'll see all of this, what layers it should have and why it should have. Now, this, I understand you'll have a lot of questions. So ask those questions in the comments and I'll be happy to help you with it. And again, in our next Zoom class, we will discuss this and any other doubts you may have regarding how to manage your space. Okay, so I'll see you in the Zoom class. Now, people who have not connected with us on the WhatsApp number given to you, the number is here. Please connect with us so that we can send you the Zoom link so that you can connect for the Zoom classes which we have on Saturday. Use this number, connect with us, send us a message of your name, actual name and your channel name. We also have a Google form. We'll send it to you. You can fill that up and send. That will also help us a lot. We'll have your data with us. And Gold Max members, be prepared because we will be sending you a message regarding our Indica soil. That is our own Aquarium Products India aquarium soil, which is called Indica. We will be sending you as to how you can get it, because that was our promise for you to start your aquascape. So I'll see you very soon in the next class and we'll talk about earth or soil or substrate. Okay, chalo, bye.